Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Molson, Canada's name in beer since 1786, brewers of Molson Canadian lager beer. Canadian General Electric, progress for people since 1882. Canadian Tire dealers with 326 stores to serve you across Canada. And by the Ford Motor Company of Canada, on behalf of your Ford and Mercury dealers from coast to coast.
A great beginning to the new year for Edmonton hockey fans as the Oilers put together their best team effort in some time for a 7-5 victory over Boston. In goal last night, 20-year-old Andy Moog. In his second NHL start, he faced 36 shots and kept the Oilers in the game with several exceptional saves, including this second period effort to foil an anxious Steve Kasper. At the other end, a difficult night for the veteran Rogie Vachon, who allowed 7 goals and just 21 shots. The winner came 4 minutes into the third as Dave Hunter set up Stan Weir's 7th of the season and the Oilers' first ever win over Boston. And tonight, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers, live on Hockey Night in Canada. Good evening, I'm John Wells. Welcome to the Northlands Coliseum, where there's always special interest when the Maple Leafs come to town. Long-standing hockey loyalties die hard in Western Canada, and the Leafs will have their share of support from this Alberta crowd tonight. However, after the Oilers' effort against Boston last evening, Edmonton fans have hope once more. On the season to date, the Leafs fought back for a tie here in late October and then beat the Oilers in Toronto 2 weeks later. But with only 7 points separating Toronto and Edmonton in the overall standings, we look forward to a close contest tonight. Also on our telecast team, Don Whitman and Jerry Pinder to call and analyze the play, along with Don Cherry in his familiar spot, the coach's corner. From the Oilers' standpoint, injuries remain a crucial problem. 4 regulars, including Captain Blair McDonald, are still out of the lineup, while the Leafs are relatively healthy and certainly well rested. They have not skated since last Tuesday when they played in St. Louis against the Blues. Hockey Night in Canada returns in just a moment.
Introducing a car that combines the brainpower of German engineers, Japanese engineers, North American engineers, engineers from around the world. Introducing a world car, the new Ford Escort. Built in North America with better ideas from around the world, with high mileage ratings, 42 miles per gallon combined, 54 miles per gallon highway. Escort's roomy inside, with 4-wheel independent suspension, front-wheel drive. Ford Escort, built in North America to take on the world.
Canadian Tire's been in this business for 50 years. We know cars, and our service centers prove it. We have up-to-date equipment, a huge in-store parts department, and highly qualified mechanics. We can handle anything from mufflers to an engine transplant. And our guarantee is good at over 300 Canadian Tire service centers across Canada.
We can do it. It's for people like you. Canadian Tire.
We mentioned a lot of scoring in Edmonton last night. In total, 12 goals in the Oiler victory over the Boston Bruins. In Calgary, a goaltender's nightmare as well. It was 6-5 Calgary with less than a minute to play in the third period when Don Lever broke through and hit the goalpost behind Mario Lessard. Right after that, the Kings started back as Marcel Dion took over and raced down the right wing. He scored his 30th goal of the year to even the contest at 6 with only 30 seconds to play. But Eric Vale, in his first game back in the Flames lineup in some time, put Calgary ahead just 5 seconds later in a thrilling 7-6 Calgary win over Los Angeles. In total, 25 goals scored in 2 games in the National Hockey League last night. A reminder, coming up in our first intermission, you'll meet Hockey Night in Canada's Player of the Year. And now we're ready for action tonight. Don Whitman and Jerry Pinder.
Hi, everybody. The Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs are just about set. And now let's join Sharon Braun for the playing of our national anthem.
Strong
Another capacity crowd in attendance for this big weekend in Edmonton. Wally Harris, the man in charge of tonight's game. Jim Christensen and Swede Knox are the linesmen. Last night, of course, that 7-5 win over the Boston Bruins. Tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs provide the opposition, and Vincent Tremblay, called up from Moncton of the American League, gets his first National League start for Toronto. Eddie Mio returns to the nets for the Edmonton Oilers. Rookie Andy Moog has been in goal for the past 2 games, losing 2-1 to Philadelphia in his first start and backstopping the Oilers to a 7-5 win over Boston last evening. A big weekend, Jerry.